Listen carefully, because this sounds impossible. Two powerful countries went to war. Not with guns, not with missiles, not even with shouting. They fought with bottles of alcohol. This is a completely real story, and it happened in one of the harshest places on Earth, a frozen battlefield, violent Arctic winds, endless silence. And in the middle of it all, one tiny island. High above the world, buried in ice and surrounded by freezing water, lies Hans Island. No cities, no people, no trees, just rock, snow, and brutal cold. It sits right in the middle of the Nares Strait, a narrow stretch of ocean separating northern Canada from Greenland, which belongs to Denmark. On the opposite side stands Canada. Now imagine both countries staring at the same island through freezing winds and saying the same words. That land belongs to us. The problem started quietly in the 1970s. Both countries were carefully drawing their Arctic borders. Scientists measured distances, governments signed agreements, maps were finalized, everything was settled. Except this one frozen rock. No one wanted to give it up. But no one wanted war either, so for years, nothing happened. Until 1984. That's when history took a very unexpected turn. A Canadian military patrol landed on the island. Helicopter blades thundered through the Arctic air. Boots crunched into frozen ground. The wind howled across the empty landscape. The soldiers raised their national flag, a clear signal, a firm claim, a statement to the world. But then, they did something no one expected. They left behind a bottle of Canadian whiskey and a simple note, "Welcome to Canada." Not a threat, not a warning, just a message and a drink. Denmark noticed, and Denmark responded. Soon after, a Danish patrol arrived. They stepped onto the same frozen ground, walked calmly to the flag, and removed it. No anger, no confrontation. They raised their own flag instead, then placed a bottle of Danish schnapps beside it, with their own message, "Welcome to Denmark." And just like that, the Whiskey War began. What happened next sounds almost unbelievable. Years passed, then decades, and the pattern never stopped. Canada would arrive, raise their flag, leave whiskey. Denmark would return, replace the flag, leave schnapps. Back and forth, again and again. Helicopters landing in storms, flags snapping in violent wind, boots crossing the same frozen ground. Each visit calm, polite, symbolic. No fighting, no threats. Just two nations quietly undoing each other's claim, over and over. The world eventually found out, and people were fascinated. While other territorial disputes caused tension and destruction, this one looked completely different. It became known as the friendliest conflict in history, a decades-long rivalry fought with respect, humor, and alcohol. But beneath the smiles, something serious remained, because the Arctic was changing. Ice was melting. New shipping routes were opening. Resources beneath the ocean were becoming more valuable. That tiny island suddenly mattered more than ever. The joke could not last forever. So diplomacy began. Quiet discussions, careful negotiations, years of conversation. Neither country wanted to surrender. Neither wanted conflict. Finally, after nearly half a century, a decision was made. In 2022, both countries agreed to share the island. A border was drawn straight across it, half for one nation, half for the other. No victory, no defeat, just balance. And just like that, the Whiskey War ended. No battlefield destruction, no lives lost, no hatred left behind. Only a story, unlike any other in human history. A reminder that conflict does not always require violence. Sometimes it requires patience. Sometimes respect. And sometimes just a flag, a handshake, and a bottle left behind in the snow. Today, that frozen island still stands in the Arctic wind. Silent, remote, peaceful. But its story echoes around the world. Because once, two nations went to war there and chose peace instead.